Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, these guys know. They should know now that this is when they can start. This is where they start.
Flawless victory.
Alright, guys. Let's go. Fingers crossed these guys know to start now. I've messaged them both. So, this is actually going to be our first to 10, where we have a North American player. BH Lion, or Blue Hurricane Lion, versus Murko. There's a lot of story to this, for sure. This is not a America versus EU match. This is Lion not being convinced that Scorpion is a viable character, and Murko wanting to prove that to him, prove that Scorpion is indeed a decent character and is viable in the game. Lion, some of you may know him. A lot of people, you know, sometimes this guy gets trolled, but ultimately he is one of the most hardworking players. He has strived for so long to get better. And, you know, it's interesting to see what he's going to have against Murko, who's been on such a rampage on the Community Cups.
Oh, absolutely. And I actually think this was Lion requested Murko as an opponent.
Yeah, this was a challenge. This was an official challenge.
Like, Murko is, without a doubt, Europe's strongest Scorpion player overall, I would argue. However, there is no arguing his Hellfire is something else. And Hellfire being the main variation people are talking about right now with Scorpion as, like, the best variation. Lion thought, no, but like what better way to prove he thinks Scorpion isn't great by beating, you know, basically the best international Hellfire around.
But I think that was a really convincing first round for Murko. He's going to be comfortable in almost any matchup, and just like that, sort of cancelling the teleport and reaction there. A little bit of an unfortunate lag spike, but it was mid-animation, so it's not the end of the world. It could have been a lot worse, but getting tagged by full jump in, that's definitely one way it can go worse.
Also, doesn't spend the second bar to make that launch. I think Lion's just content chipping away with his lead. Also, anti-cross up standing too, don't see that too often. But yeah, I think Lion's a bit more. I think Lion's just content trying to just slowly but surely chip away, but unfortunately throws away a roll, maybe a mistake confirm, maybe just a gamble, who knows, but cost him 2 bars a meter.
Murko is consistently looking for that side to punish. You can see there, teleporting on reaction, he's going to catch that full combo. So much damage, definitely not something that Hellfires can have a hard time doing, is getting significant damage all the time. Jumping into grab, really smart, knowing that Lion's going to sit there and just wait for pressure. Forcing the break, and this is looking kind of bad.
Well, that's one of those crazy things about Hellfire. You know, this variation having access to 2 restands, one being the spear, one being the flame aura. He can cash out damage to get huge amounts and still end in a restand. That's just always has been the strength of Hellfire, and Murko knows how to put that to use more than most right now. But that's a really good round for him. Also has 2 bars, so he can afford to be quite risky, but just to roar down 2 in the face. But that's one thing we see from Murko a lot, is he has meter all the time. I know it's Hellfire as a variation, gets you blocking a lot, so he's going to build a lot of bar, but Murko particularly, like, he's not afraid to do stuff without bar, so he's got that bar to break after it. Like, he is going to take those risks if it results in him breaking away. Sure, he doesn't care. He's just going to use the bar for that anyway.
Well, I think, interestingly, in this situation, right at the end, you can almost be a little bit worried about Murko, because right there, Lion was definitely in the process of making some sort of comeback there. Because it was just jump in string, and it was constantly building him a ton of bar. Murko seemingly was kind of frozen up. I know Melina has some really good jump-ins, but completely uncontesting, like the 3 or 4 jump-ins that we saw back-to-back. So,
well,
even though Lion lost that game, even though Lion lost that game, the amount of jumps he got away with, that's going to be good data for these next games.
But also vice versa. Like, if you're playing Piercing Melina that has back 1, which is arguably one of the best standing normals in the game for anti-airs, you can't be letting people jump at you with punches or kicks. It doesn't matter. That back 1 is incredible at dealing with that option, and unfortunately, Lion didn't do much about it last time, but unfortunately drops his first standing B&B. That's a shame.
I'm about to say, that was going to be massive damage, and Murko completely uncontesting these jump-ins once again. Not ready to hit confirm right there. Might have to be in the future. Catches that really meaty forward 4. That was a really good break, because that would have been so much damage. No, catches the jump in, but no, the jump kick is not going to be good enough. Unfortunately, trying to commit into the jump kick teleport does it way too low to the ground and does not get a full combo.
Fortunate stuff for Lion. He is going to manage to snag that round for sure, but Murko's sitting pretty at full bars once again. But let's not forget, Marketplace, not too bad of a stage, like, overall. No, both these characters are quite hard to pin down, but that corner escape on the right does have the mind game to it. Left-hand side, a little bit less so, but right now, oh no, just a raw, meatless roll and wake up. Lion bringing out the tried and true piercing stuff now.
Well, I feel like that was an element of Melina that was completely unchanged across all variations. It's such a ridiculously fast move. It is one of the true meatless reversals in the game if you can low profile enough hits. Gets the restand. Nice block stun right there, going in for the grab, but Lion can't count him out. Sitting on a ton of bar.
Oh, wow.
Challenging it with the meterless roll, but still alive.
Now, in that
Not
kind of
anymore.
in that kind of situation, like if you get, like you said, it's a meatless reversal in some situations with the low profiling. I think Lion just tried to catch Murko, mistiming the frame trap with a plus frame from the neutral jump kick. But there's no way Murko was going to mess that up for sure. But you know, Lion himself sitting on a lot of bar at the moment, but right now it's not looking too important as Murko just kind of sitting pretty. This full screen, no, never mind. Wow, teleport straight into a down one.
There's a little bit of an interesting exchange right here, looking for those clean jumps, but I think consistently Murko has tried to actually bait the armored reversal off the 2-1 gap that Lion has actually never gone for that. So I wonder if Murko is going to start committing to those 2-on-4s. He actually isn't going to get the chance to. Lion is absolutely, no, he's not going to X-ray. He could have killed on that.
I mean, I'm like 95% sure that would have killed for sure, but Lion doesn't really care. He's going to go in anyway. Guaranteed chip, no, never mind, mistimes it. But teleport's going to not save him, unfortunately. You can tell Murko wanted to avoid the chip damage. Fortunately for Murko, Lion did mistime his meaty, but at that point, it didn't really matter too much. Actually, that's one interesting thing for this matchup that we're seeing, though, is that really funky-looking cross-up jump-over punch that Melina has. In EU, we aren't used to seeing that, because Foxy, as like the premier piercing of outside of NA, or I guess Melina, you could say, you know, the real premier Melina player outside of NA, does not forward jump. So everyone outside of North America hasn't had to really deal with Melina's obnoxious jumping punches, but here we see Lion really abusing how good it can be.
Well, the thing is that he's just not, Murko is not challenging those jumps, like, whatsoever. He is consistent. He's basically letting Lion jump for free.
Oh, wow.
Spear's not going to be good. I really don't think that's going to be a worthwhile tool to challenge the sort of Melina full screen game. That straight side is still a fantastic tool. It's going to trade amazingly well, and you're just not going to get it out in time.
Again, we're seeing Lion being hesitant to anti-air. Unfortunate lag spikes right now, but both players kind of going to slow things down, go to the full screen space again, clear it up a little bit. But again, you know, we're seeing Lion just consistently not even attempt back when anti-airs. I know Murko is doing a ton of jump kicks because he's looking for the hit confirm, but again, piercing can deal with that. It's risky, sure, but I mean, we're still early days in the set. 1-1 right now. There's still plenty of games to go.
The question is, how many of those sort of risky little Hellfire auras in the neutral are we going to see Murko get away with? Because ultimately, Lion is playing this at a slow pace, tries to Addy cross up and eats another jump in. It's almost like that's probably why he's actually not challenging the jump, because every time he's tried, oh no, trying to go for a down 2, I do not know what that was for. And this almost could be a round, jumping straight into it, and Lion absolutely stealing that one away. I wonder what that down 2 was about. Completely unnecessary.
It could have been a fumbled Hellfire aura. Maybe it was just a read gone wrong, but again, Lion going for that dive kick at the end, that actually could have been curtains from 2. Both players playing quite shaky right now, which for Murko is quite uncharacteristic. Normally this guy is really aggressive all over you, but maybe there's just the unfamiliarity here. Maybe he hasn't fought Melina in a while. At the same time, you know, Lion's missing a couple of things, but you know, these guys have all the time in the world to clean things up as this goes on.
Hey, this is just a game 3 of, you know, a first to 10, so there's plenty of stuff to work with. Really nice catch on the whiff, but Lion dropping the combo. I actually really liked the roll there, seeing the string whiff, capitalizing, but I think he's actually recovering from this really well, getting a respectable 35% damage into some kind of mix-up. And again, Murko just trying to anti-air. This is just slipping through his fingers. What is going on? Lion completely destroying in that final round.
That was Murko, I think, being the most flustered I've ever seen him. He got hit by. He got hit by
seen this guy so flustered.
He got hit by 2 standing strings into specials. He could have broke at any point both combos back to back, and he didn't take the grab. That's not like Murko. I'm not quite sure what he's thinking right now, but he's definitely not as confident as he normally is. It looks like Lion is really established, and now Lion's moving up in games. You know, 2-1. So Lion's looking super good right now.
But it's like, it's really strange, right? Now, one thing we always used to say was, if you can slow down the pace of the match, if you force Murko to play at a speed he doesn't like playing at, which is actually much slower than what he normally does, then he would seemingly almost struggle sometimes. I think we have a pause. Oh, no, we're back. Bear in mind, guys, there is a significant distance between these two players. With Murko living in Italy and Lion living in America, there will inevitably be some lag, but Lion not really seeming too fussed by it. You know, he's recovering really well from this and actually has Murko on the back foot. I think it's because he's forcing a slow level of play that Murko characteristically does not play at, and he seems kind of uncomfortable right now.
The problem is Murko is consistently just letting go of block as soon as he blocks a mid. That happened to him both before, and it's already happening to him now. Like, he's just refusing to hold block strings. He's just getting hit. Like, he's blocking the first hit and then just immediately stopping. I'm not quite sure what he's doing.
Oh, nice punish again. Lion is not going to let him get away with those teleports. Risky counter poke, but it pays off. Lion gets tagged, has to use break. That would have been the round over. The jump kick, no hit confirm. Oh, unfortunate lag spike's going to take it. And actually, I will be honest, I actually think Lion let himself get hit there.
It looked like
because
it.
the round was over.
Which, to be,
good guy,
yeah,
Lion.
To be fair, that is super good sportsmanship. That was 100% Murko's round, and lag spike unfortunate, but Lion conceding the round because of it. Like, that's I like seeing that kind of stuff. You know, like, these aren't super duper serious first to tens, but the guys want to win, and you know, at the end of the day, they're competitors. You know, treat others as you would be treated, I suppose.
Back-to-back pokes are going to go out right there. Lion tags a very important hit. He's going to get the restand of the back one too. What comes next? Neutral crouch, but the poke, not the full combo. Another neutral crouch. I wonder if these are intentional.
Oh, catches back one. Doesn't do anything with it, unfortunately. Oh, nice throw from Lion.
Jump kick versus dive kick. What is even going on? So many low pokes. I have seen so many like down ones and down threes in this one set. More than any set I've seen in such a long time. Risky Rago teleport. What was that?
Murko didn't even have bar for breaker. That was just a straight up, you know, coin flip at that point.
Now, I will bring attention to one very, very important thing that Lion is doing, is that he is playing this game at his own pace. I said this earlier on, but I really think that it is so insanely prominent right here that most of the time, people are, like, they preemptively try and move around. They preemptively try and move around in the neutral. And Murko capitalizes on that. He is so good at just catching someone who's trying to be kind of crazy. What a sequence for Murko taking this game. And now we have things 2-2. But I will say, Lion is just incredibly patient at the moment. Like, it's a level of patience that we don't really see. And Murko is being forced to play that. However, clearly, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world if he's put in that situation. He can play at that speed, but I just don't think he prefers it.
Well, Lion's just having a really, really good set so far. Just really solid play all around. It's a shame that as soon as we saw... Wait, we seriously going straight to Katana? I'm not sure I agree with this.
Yeah, I don't really agree with the character change. I mean, like, let's not forget Lion can play multiple characters. He does play other characters. Shinnok and Melina, I believe, are his two main characters now. But he's gone through many characters over the course of this game's life, so you know he's got a hell of a repertoire behind him. And with Murko only playing one character, I think if you're a specialist and you know your opponent only uses one character, that opens up a lot of possibilities for counterpicking and forcing them into that situation.
I'll have to wait and see if Lion is still feeling comfortable in the pick. The fact that he was willing to swap off it makes me think he's probably not 100% confident anymore, which is a bit confusing because it's a close set so far. He's playing really well. Like you said,
nice
it really is
doesn't get the two back ones.
It's a question of controlling Murko and forcing him to slow down. And the problem with that is Murko hits you once and that's it. He immediately forces that pace upon you. Like, so you can stop him until he hits you, and then it's basically Murko's time.
But I will be honest, I think, as I was about to say, commentators curse and all that, but I actually think Lion has actually done a superb job at forcing that. He has only been opened up one single time, and because it's piercing Melina and he is managing his super meter correctly, he has breaker, you know, so the one time he got opened up, he had breaker to make it count.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if Murko... Oh, the nice hit confirm. Oh, no, just slightly too high up in the air. But again, a conversion. Not letting those wayward hits go unpunished.
Well, run straight into a side. There's the anti-air roll we're looking for. Melina, all the options in the world for that. Nice to see Lion making the adjustment. There's a teleport and prediction. But no, the down one from Lion is going to beat the... Was it the overhead?
Yeah, it's the forward two. Now, actually, we saw that earlier on. It's a really interesting situation because the forward two is supposed to be a low crush. However, although it's a low poke, Melina's down one is completely actually beating out the forward two. It's beating the low crush. So
nice reactions on the punish there, though, for the fireball. I'm paying attention.
In situations Murko is trying to catch the low crush, it's actually not working, and he's getting hit for his trouble. Oh, the anti-cross up, clean.
But that's the kind of thing we need to see Murko really, you know, embracing is Scorpion's anti-air options. Both these characters are really good on the ground at just controlling the space. We're going to guarantee chip in? No, not quite enough to kill, but that will be there for sure. As soon as that poke connects, that is GG's, and Lion Goes down around, but Murko looking pretty good this game. But again, another even one.
I feel like Murko's found his button. I do strongly feel like Murko has found the magic button with anti-air standing 3 and another conversion Hellfire, the recapture, and again, this is 100% Murko has been on the conversion of forward 4 run cancel. That is a tight link.
Oh, tries to confirm with the standing 3, doesn't quite get it, and there's the trade. That was good for Lion. Otherwise, he would have eaten a teleport into a full restand sequence. And at this health, you're looking at 1-touch death from Hellfire. If he gets a full opening, but no, goes a little bit too ham. And that is an expensive break right there. Meteor Burn teleport into Breaker. That is all 3 bars out of there.
But again, I've got to say, it just comes down to the level of patience that... And there we go, Lion getting a full jump in. It's this level of patience. Lion forcing Murko to slow his game down. Good block. No punish attempt. That's game over! And he's going to spend the 2 bars, guarantee things right there. It's going to be 5 games in total, with Lion taking 3 of them so far. Could potentially almost be halfway there.
Now, I know we've been saying a lot that the anti-airs need to start coming through, but there are ranges where sometimes it's just a better idea to just block it, you know what I mean? Like, if you're getting jumped over from, like, you know, outside jump distance, which we're seeing sometimes, just where Murko's going in for his kicks, they should be getting anti-aired. But if Melina's jumping at you at that kind of, almost like that Samij style range where he's really coined that perfect jump-in distance where you get that really awkward crossover jumping punch. In some situations, like when that one's coming, just like hold the jump in, because consistently Murko, the majority of Murko's life is going to that specific jump in, beating his anti-air, and he just doesn't seem to have a consistent answer for it. So maybe it's better to just let it go.
I think let the jump in go if it's a range which is easily going to get stuffed. Like, most of the time we've seen it, it's like right there. That range that Lion held the jump in was because it was such a weird, meaty cross-up that if he tried to press a button, he was probably going to get beat out. That's why Lion sat there and blocked. Murko is not giving it the same amount of, I guess, care to let it rock. He's trying to anti-cross-up almost all the time. Sometimes he's on the money, but most of the time in those crossed-up instances, it's just not working out.
Oh,
like
wow.
that right there. That would have been a range he would have got probably stuffed if he tried to anti-cross up.
But good patience from Lion again. He's just sitting here. Good to hold these blocks. And there's the gap. Doesn't spend a second bar for the launch, but has that life lead. Wow, down 2.
Oh, if he went in for the jumping punch, it would have been over. But Lion tags back to back. Oh no, he's not going to build Breaker in time. That round is going to again go to Lion. Lion, just understandably, he seems to know a thing or two about how to approach this matchup. He's actually not really letting Murko get away with a lot of things. Murko is, I don't know, I feel like Lion is the one that is completely in control of this matchup right now.
If it seems that way, unfortunate. Doesn't get the fuzzy on the overhead again, though. That's going to be huge damage coming in from Murko. 40%, and now we get the restand.
Restand off 42%, gets caught by the low, but does not have the stamina. Hit confirms into Hellfire, though, and once again, we're going to see a ton of damage off this hit. Getting the restand. Block pressure, no break from Lion, but I think at this point, totally content to maybe lose the round. Hang on, still alive. He gets stuffed again, and the trade. That's going to be good. I was about to say, if that was a comeback, I would have absolutely lost it.
It looked possible, but Murko being a little bit too slippery, I think. Let's jump in again, Lion with the patience. Scouts out the overhead this time. Is going to get a breaker in time, but how much damage can cash into first? Now, does he break now to avoid the restand, or does he take the restand and then break off the mix-up? Oh, there's the crouch, but unfortunately he doesn't get any actual punish for it.
Now that would have been a clean anti-air distance, but he's not going to commit. Teleport whiffs. Nice catch there. Good use of break there from Lion. That definitely would have killed him.
But this is where it gets really dangerous, because there's no way Lion's going to approach a breaker before, and that hit confirmed jump kick into guaranteed death with the damage coming up. There's no way he's going to mess this up. Oh, wow.
He's still alive. No Hellfire Aura. Interesting stuff. I think he might have anticipated that the meter burn teleport into something afterwards would have been sufficient to kill. But it just scaled. It just scaled so much. It didn't quite seal the deal, but he actually gave Lion a little bit of room to come back there. We have seen Lion come back in this set before. Piercing Melina, definitely a character that's going to come back because you're not going to spend your bar on damage. So, you know, one of the things, again, that hasn't really been changed with Piercing Melina is... Let's discuss what's different about this character, right? First and foremost, the reason we're seeing so many pokes work in this situation is because Piercing Melina's back one is no longer a mid. That is the big change. So Lion is playing much more of a... He's still trying to play footsies, but he's not really playing that sort of like catch a poke game that we would see other piercings like Foxy and that go for. And even Lion at the time, he is jumping a lot more. And honestly, I think part of that is because of the change in the mid. If you can jump over a poke or just catch it at that magical moment, you're going to get a ton of damage.
Well, that's the biggest change in the matchup, right? Is that back one losing its mid properties. It does give characters that used to kind of struggle at that range an option to really deal with it, especially if you're going for like that down 4. Like when you're not whiff punishing down 4s with back 1 anymore, like that's where you get a little bit more options. But look at the damage Lion's taken already from what was effectively one combo.
Oh, the down 2 to challenge it. The wake up is good, but he punishes it way too early. He's actually let Lion survive here. What is going on?
That was some sloppy gameplay, unfortunately. I mean, I
agree.
understandably sloppy, but sloppy nonetheless.
I think actually one thing we should also notice that's going on in this set is when Murko he's gone for so many grabs, when he feels like he's conditioned you to start taking grabs, he's going for 1, 2, 3. I think the reason he goes for 1, 2, 3 is because it is easily hit confirmable if they're pressing a button.
No, I can see that.
The jump kick's going to be good. Doesn't get it though. Drops another combo. Murko sitting on 3 bars of meter. This is danger territory. Lion with 1 bar. Might be able to use the reversal, but that roll is not going to launch like it used to. Things are looking worse and worse. He's going to bet it. Gets it. We might see something, but Murko with just so many resources, it's going to be difficult to do this.
This is going to be a
down 2.
This is going to be a tough comeback with no resources and a 2 and Scorpion with a breaker as well, who at any point could do something ludicrous to stop you making the comeback and break away. That was strong stuff. I mean, this is. I'm happy this is a close set so far. I know this is something Lion has particularly been wanting for a while, so I'm happy with finally being able to sync this up. We're actually supposed to do this last week, but unfortunately the players were unavailable. But I feel like we've got some really, really good gameplay out of this so far. What's the score currently?
4 games to Murko and 3 to Lion.
Nice.
He's gone to Cassie. Alright, so he has gone for the character change. We were going to probably see this eventually. If Lion was down on games, he was probably going to at least try. Bear in mind, guys, this is a first to 10. And Murko sitting on 4 games being the leader of the set. We still have a ton of games to go, which means if you are Lion and you can play multiple characters, you can just, try some. Give up a game or 2 just to potentially find your comfort zone. You might regret it if you don't go for it. Hollywood, though, very important that the invincible nut punch is going to be a good challenge for some of these cancels.
I can see it. I mean, Hollywood just a consistently powerful character at basically every point of this game's life, and now is obviously no different, but...
Oh, get back down here.
I guess this does give Lion the option for, like, the straight-up Vortex with the Meter Burn Nut Punch, which is obviously something that even Scorpion has to hold, so he's... A lot of this sort of like wake up mind game of
no
teleport
punish.
or no teleport isn't a problem if you're legit just leaving them standing for a guaranteed hit.
That was a really clean delayed wake up right there. I actually respect Lion. I think he actually opted to jump out of the corner rather than punish takedown because I think he just wants positioning. If he's going to be put in the corner, that's danger territory against any character, but Hellfire, he's going to get so much damage off that. Punishing it with the forward 3, that matchup knowledge. We actually didn't really see that against Melina. I think against Cassie in particular, a very useful tool. He was jailing off the neutral jump kick, reaching in with the forward 3, and using it to punish that nut punch, a very key button in this matchup, it seems.
I like how Murko is consistently ready for that down 1 catch jumps as well, because like it's not like he just dials in down 1 and standing 3, it's clearly a reaction.
I wonder if that's actually a punish for that string right there. That seemed very deliberate on anticipation of him finishing the string.
Oh, blocks a 50-50, but Lion doesn't finish it. Smart stuff, keeps himself safer.
I think that was really good hit confirming from Lion, seeing it blocked and just not committing. Oh, what was that? Was that on anticipation of a poke?
That was
insane.
That's kind of a Murko special, you know what I mean? Like something that you see and your natural reaction is just like, wait, what? What happened? What happened? Why? It worked.
I think this is that's probably the trend of the EU Scorpion. Mitsuones has point blank low minion. Murko has point blank Hellfire. Now, I don't know whether Lion's going to stick with this character. I think Cassie definitely can get the job done here. I actually recall Sonic Fox saying at one point back in the day, I think I remember him saying he believes that Cassie does beat Scorpion. Brawler in particular beats Scorpion quite well. We saw Sonic Fox use Brawler Cassie at the Season 3 finals against Krathen. did very, very well in that set. Lion, once again with the character change, going to Sector. We have seen Murko, yeah, he's changed his mind. I don't think he wants to do it. We have seen Murko, he is knowledgeable in the Sector matchup. He has fought Vilmarin in the Community Cups, which is a very strong Russian Sector, and he's got that matchup knowledge. It would have been, and I think Scorpion does well versus Sector anyway, so it would have been
well, it's more that
potentially
a very strong piece of Sector's game plan in the straight rockets and up rockets he can't do versus Scorpion, because that's a teleport reaction every time. But, you know, doesn't really matter. Lion's gone to Ravenous as opposed to Piercing. He just wants that
I
can
only ever agree with his pick on Melina. I think the way he plays Melina is a very strong contender for being able to win a set against someone like Murko because of how slow he plays the game. And he is clearly comfortable playing at that speed as well.
What I think Lion would massively benefit from is a guaranteed punish on Hellfire. Like, if he had a move, he could just, you know, get out
like bull roll.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if I don't know the frames if bull roll by itself will punish Hellfire, because Hellfire is a tight punish.
I do feel like I think bull roll should be able to punish that, but I could be wrong. But even then, she has actually got fast buttons to get the job done.
Well, I'm
fairly certain she can.
I know she can with normals, but like just that guaranteed reliable, just do the special move, get the automatic reversal timing. I feel like it's so important to take that.
What? Wake up aura?
Like, that's what I mean. Like, when Murko isn't being punished for auras, he isn't going to care by counter poking with it, throwing out on block to catch you doing something, especially when Lion is doing as many pokes as he is.
Jumping again.
But you need to be able to take blocked aura away from someone like Murko, because if you don't, he's going to add it to his arsenal and he's going to destroy you with it.
I feel like there may come a point where we start seeing Lion punishing those auras. And I feel like it might be a matchup changer. The question is, when are we going to see it?
Sooner rather than later, I should hope. But Murko again with the aggression. Good momentum too, and there's that wake-up roll from Lion. I mean, Lion's looking a little bit, I don't want to say desperate, because I can understand why he's going to, trying to catch Murko, trying to hit him, slow things down, but I feel like he's being a little bit too unsafe.
Oh, I agree. Lion, though, I think he's doing a good job right there of conditioning Murko to block, and that's when he throws in those sort of overhead grab moves. I believe that's the overhead grab, anyway.
I think it is, but I shan't promise. I'm like 99% sure it's an overhead grab, but I've never actually used Melina Ravenous in my life.
I cannot say that either of us are particularly experienced in the Ravenous Melina matchup. Oh, another cancel.
Well, that's the thing about Ravenous. It just isn't a character we've actually ever seen too much in EU, and that was a beautiful conversion. But yeah, Ravenous just isn't a very popular character in Europe, so it's just not something I'm used to seeing.
I actually want to say shout outs to Tweedy in the chat for making the observation. I was actually going to mention it myself. Murko is consistently actually trying to react to the side toss, but because it recovers a lot quicker now, as of a fair few months now, it's very difficult to react to that.
Well, that's why we're seeing him react with a cancel teleport, because at the very least he's trying to get that poke to start his offense, which is something that we're seeing Lion respond with when he sees Murko teleport late. He's trying to do his down one first, and then they're kind of clashing. It looks interesting, but they're definitely going for that kind of post-teleport mind game, I suppose.
It's a really interesting neutral, because clearly Murko does not want to he doesn't want to simply work his way in piece by piece. He is trying to get in his way. And it's like, although Lion and Piercing in general was always such a good character at forcing a specific playstyle on someone else, which you can see Lion is experienced with doing and is able to do well. It's just Murko, he's like, nah, I'm getting in, mate, and I'm getting in on my terms, whether you like it or not. And when I hit you, I do so much damage.
But
then
what a pick!
I will take a million size to get in.
But what a pick for that kind of playstyle, like Hellfire. Like Murko and Hellfire go together like bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? The way Murko plays MKX.
Oh, it catches it again.
Only Hellfire can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really, really correct observation. Like, clearly Murko has kind of spent his time learning Mortal Kombat by playing this character. So the entire way he approaches matchups and approaches the neutral and everything is shaped around Hellfire in particular.
The low, nice one with the overhead.
But I feel like Lion as well, as a player, has tried so hard to learn variation after variation. He has done a good job of learning Mortal Kombat X. Like, he's done a good job of just learning how to play the game in general. So he's able to play multiple characters. That was a disgusting catch from Murko. He's able to play multiple characters, and I think Piercing, if you're fundamentally sound at the game, Piercing is actually going to do a good job at going hand in hand with you instead.
That good restand. Here's the Piercing we know and love. There's the Good breaker as well for Murko. I mean, that's one thing Murko does. He's always
no roll.
He's always got so much bar that as soon as you do hit him, it is kind of his turn again with that breaker. But there's that punish. You got to be so careful. If you let Murko give you if you give him a max damage B&B, he's going to run away with it.
Well, I think against Hellfire, the thing you need to ask yourself is, if that Hellfire is sitting on a bar of meter and you're about to do something unsafe, the reset into the low, forcing the breaker out of Lion. And Murko absolutely in the driver's seat, whiffing the forward two. It's not going to go punished. Now, Lion catches a full combo. This is not going to kill. A major drop, but a back-to-back drop from Murko. Lion still alive. What is going on?
Well, there's no way Lion should be alive right now. Murko gets it, but there is I'm not going to say guaranteed Hellfire, but a pretty damn strong likely to hit Hellfire.
I'm fairly certain that in that situation, the only thing Lion could have done was...
I hate to say it, not drop his
wake up
combo.
well.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
That's
for
kind
sure.
of... That was where the downfall started there, unfortunately.
That's almost like one of those heartbreakers where if you're a piercing player and you drop that specific corner combo, you're almost guaranteed to lose the round. We've seen that. We saw that happen to Foxy so many times when he used to play piercing. Like, he would drop the back 1-2 combo and the final section would whiff. The opponent would just stand up and kill him for it. Like, it's a heartbreaking thing to see, but a testament to why you need to make sure that your corner conversions are on the money every time.
Like
Is Lion going to go for the Grandmaster?
Perhaps. He has been hovering over it for a while. The
We
weird
do know
one,
he
though.
can play. We know all too well that Lion can play Grandmaster with a particular mirror that we saw on Twitter the other week.
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I think Lion and Tweedy had a Grandmaster mirror, and I hear it was one of the slowest, longest first attend you've ever seen in your life.
I've actually never heard of that happening. Did I just not look at Twitter that day?
Well, it was one tweet, and I saw it. Anyway, Lion has gone for Grandmaster.
He also
He's gone for the
started
pick.
with a raw back 2 as their first hit.
I don't know how that's going to work against Scorpion. That downfall is going to be such an attractive choice.
Now, does fire beat ice? I would say yes, because ice melts to it.
There is one question: who will win, Scorpion or Sub-Zero? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
I don't know, like for Scorpion, Share for Sub-Zero, runs straight into an ice ball, but there's the drop. Doesn't matter though, because he is going to get a hard
Frown
knockdown.
emoji for Scorpion, thinking emoji for Grandmaster.
Hey guys, follow for Sub-Zero, subscribe for Scorpion.
Oh, the forward four. We know when Murko lands one of those, you're losing half your health bar. Like, no doubt about it.
But
He
that-
gets the
but
reset,
that's just
and
one
he
of
gets it again!
Oh no, another
back
drop,
to back.
unfortunately. But that is like the eternal strength of Hellfire is just, oh, I hit you with anything. Time to eat a ludicrous amount of damage into one of my 2 restands. But at any point, I could reset you early when you expect cashing out. I could just go for a mix-up instead. That is the Hellfire.
That was super clean right there. I think really smartly, knowing that Murko was likely to go for the Hellfire Aura in the corner and catch a button press, Lion basically just put the clone out and just sat behind it. He just kind of let Murko do whatever he wanted.
I'm assuming we both saw that, right?
I just didn't want to bring attention to it.
I feel like we.
Oh, the jump
I
in!
feel like it's our duty to do so. When you are doing raw Hellfires at point blank against someone like Sub-Zero, and it hit.
Wow, that was so smart! What was that? He whiffed Hellfire into standing 3 spear because he knew Lion would press a button. That was ridiculous!
This is what I like to call throwing the
What
kitchen
is
sink.
this set?
This
What
is
this
Murko.
match?
I mean, this is Murko just doing Murko-like things that we've never seen Murko do before.
I mean, I've seen Murko be insane, but this is like next level.
Oh no. Oh no. Good blocks from
I
Lion.
saw. I just.
Oh,
Oh no! The
no.
added cross up. What comes next? Murko seeing on full X-ray. Hit confirms. That's actually probably going to be death. I don't know whether Lion's going to even be able to break.
Yes, off the ground
No,
against the
spends the
armor,
bar.
but Murko 2 bars. He is going to be impossible to pin down. No, he catches him. He's not breaking. He's going to restand. There we go. There's the refreeze. Hard knockdown incoming. But what's the wake-up game? This is Murko. What's he going to do? Just wakes up normally.
This is Grandmaster we're talking about. He hits you one time in the corner and it could all be over, but he has to challenge it. The guaranteed chip was going to be good, and Murko, I mean, things were looking so good for Lion at the start. He was ahead in games at the very beginning of the set, but Murko has basically just taken this lead, and he is running away with it right now.
I kind of feel like
Lion,
that's the danger.
carry on,
That's the
carry
danger
on.
in a long set when you swap multiple characters against someone that is playing their one and only character. But it's a character that has And, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not quite that simple with Hellfire. There is no direct counter. You can't just go pick. Let me just pick this one character in one variation because it's like all of a sudden an impossible matchup for Hellfire.
Ultimately, the main key to defeating Hellfire is patience. And although Lion has been doing it very well, that approach has stopped working. But on that note, Lion's gone in with the variation of Scorpion that he's always played, which is Ninjutsu. We now have a mirror match, but not a mirror match. One of my favorite things about Mortal Kombat X, you can pick the same character, but
the
we're
mirror
seeing
that isn't
Hellfire
really a
versus
mirror.
Ninjutsu.
Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, and he catches it again. Now, almost immediately, Murko is going to get a lot of mileage over those preemptive Hellfires because ultimately, Ninjutsu does need to extend itself to land those key normals. If he's going to try and extend right into one of those Hellfires, he's going to get tagged for a full combo every time.
Oh, that catches 2 and 4 of his own. There's the restand. Ninjutsu having a significantly weaker time mixing from it, but still gets some nice respectable damage.
Either not fuzzying that or just guessing wrong in that situation. Expecting him to block. Goes in for the full 4. Very well blocked there by Lion. Caught by the back. One cancel and another round is going to go to Murko just like that. Lion looking good though, but I think he just needs to, I don't know.
It all comes down to pace.
It
all comes down to pace. Whenever Lion manages to contain Murko, he does perfectly fine. It's just when Murko, when he lets loose and he starts getting these crazy hit confirms, that's when it's a problem. But Murko consistently finds himself doing that because in order for Murko to do that, he just has to hit you with anything. You have this conversion god of Murko, and he hits you with anything, it's turning into Murko Town.
I think if you just know how to micromanage the Hellfire combined with the Spear, another hit confirm on 1, 2, 3, Lion absolutely needed to break, and unfortunately committing into forward 2, yeah, and that was a really good fuzzy guard there from Murko. I think actually, ironically, Lion was actually always has been one of the biggest pioneers of, he gets kind of mad when he sees someone get hit consistently by the forward 2 50-50 quote unquote. If you're good at fuzzying it, it's actually possible to block forward 2 into takedown. If you fuzzy it, you block overhead first, and you block low on reaction to the takedown. Murko plays this character. It's pretty, likely he knows how to fuzzy that. Now, we find ourselves in a situation where Lion is severely down on games. He potentially has one last chance to find his way back. However, if last week's first to 10 has taught us anything, it's that
it's not over until it's over.
But this was flipped. Like last week, K-Top was the one that was severely down on games against Doc. K-Top was the one switching characters frantically, and it was Doc that was stuck to 1. We have now flipped it, and, Lion finds himself in the same situation. He needs to hope now that this Scorpion pick is enough to win 7 more games in a row for himself.
Is this his last chance? Is it 9-2?
It's 9-3 as it stands currently.
Well, I mean, that to be fair, that does sound relatively close to what we had last time. But right now, Murko, again with the momentum, gets himself a fire or a buff throw. Nice chunky 1% extra damage. Maybe not so much, but still, he's doing his thing. Also, for the first time in a long time, we've seen Murko starved for meter, but it isn't going to matter. Another failed fuzzy on the forward 4 from Lion. Gets tagged.
Very, very crucial anti-cross up, but committing into the 2-1-2. You know what? I don't actually think he was expecting him to actually get hit by that.
Part of me actually thinks that Murko sticks out forward 4 as an attempt to just catch you running in or doing something like that.
Now, rapidly, we now find ourselves on match point. Murko needs to win this one round. He is going to take the set if he does it. Good block there from Lion. If Lion's going to pull it back, that's the first time I've actually seen back 4 the whole set. I feel like maybe we've seen that a little bit too late.
It could be, but come on, he's only just gone to Ninjutsu like a couple of matches ago. That unfortunate drop in the corner as well. He cannot be leaving this damage on the table. Another drop. Lion. I can tell why he went for the confirm instead, but he cannot be leaving. Against someone like Murko, you cannot give that person a free hit to get back in.
Especially when he's going to run cancel and get a full combo like this. Spending 1, but Lion very intelligently waiting for the meter. And actually, I don't think we've seen Lion actually punish a single Hellfire.
I don't think so either, unfortunately, but he is going to punish the slide. Significantly easier to, but again, it's important to show someone like Murko, you can't do special moves for free against me. I'm going to punish you. You need to be able to take that consistent damage. When someone who is so momentum heavy as Murko, you need to be able to maximize your damage against someone like that, especially when they give you free damage.
Murko with the jump over though, he whiffs it in time, gets hit by another Hellfire Aura. This could be the start of everything. I mean, just look how much damage this variation gets off one hit. And the back-to-back tag, the forward 4 cancel. He's going to build Breaker, but the grab's not going to be enough. He's going to get guaranteed Hellfire on this, but he opts to go for the jump instead. Oh my, sent him to orbit, and he comes back down. Jeez, pepperonis. That was crazy.
Murko just woke up. I don't know what happened in that set. He looked so horrifically uncomfortable early on, and Lion was just controlling him so well. But it seemed it seemed as soon as Lion lost confidence in his piercing, that's when Murko started having a bit of a free for all, I think.
But I think honestly, like, it was very hard to predict a result of this set. But Lion, as you said, Lion did such an amazing job of actually keeping a lid on him early on. It's almost like, you know, Lion was prepared for Murko. I even said that earlier on in the set, where I said, ultimately what's going on here is that Murko has been challenged in this set by Lion because Lion was not convinced really on Scorpion as a character. He says, I play this character, I know the matchup, I've watched you play, and I want to prove that, you know, I want to prove that I can show you that this character is maybe not what everyone thinks it is, right? That's almost kind of what this was all about. And I think he was doing such an amazing job of actually proving his opinion on the character early on, because he did keep a lid on him. He did keep him contained, which is notoriously difficult to do. It's just, once Murko got that lead, he just ran away with it, and ultimately, when Murko gets going, he is, without a doubt, one of the most momentum-based players in this scene right now. And I really wish we could see Murko compete more. I think the Community Cups is all he can do right now. I mean, if you're an EU or an international, there really isn't much. All the 10k pop bonuses and that went to North America. If you want to play, you got to travel out there, and that is an expensive and long trip if you're not sponsored and, you know, you're an upcoming young player. It's not as easy to do that. But yeah, what do you reckon?
No, all in all, very, very good set. As always, very happy that these players consistently week after week turn up and really show high-level Mortal Kombat X, especially now the game, I don't want to say is on its way out, but now the game is definitely, you know, reaching closer to Injustice 2. I'm happy there is this consistent, amazing MKX play out there, and the players are willing to come onto this series and show it off. If I'm honest, I did expect that set to be a little bit closer, especially after how good the first handful of games went for Lion. But at the same time, like we've said time and time again, and I predict we'll be saying it many times more the more we see him play, you get someone like Murko who is such a steamroller that, you know, they can seem slow at first, but as soon as you give them the opening and they get going, like it's hard to stop them. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we saw. Good stuff to these guys. Thanks for coming on, Lion, as well. I understand connection NA to Italy probably isn't the best for them, but both these guys stuck it through. Huge thanks to them, and I hope we get to see them more in the future.
Well, my final note I want to say is I actually want to say shout-outs to Lion, right? I've seen in chat some people do try and blow this guy up a lot. Ultimately, Lion was the one. Lion stepped up, okay? Like that's the one thing I really want to see.
For the first time in this series, I might add.
Lion stepped up and said, I have an opinion on this character. I've been working hard. You can see the effort that Lion has put into this game. People control him, people can say what they like, but this guy has improved as a player from launch up until now. MKX was his first competitive fighting game, I believe. So it's, you know, this guy had, I will say, he had the balls to step up and say, I'm going to challenge the best international Hellfire. And I want to do it on your stream. I want to do it on your first to 10. I accept the potential of lag. I know that even if it goes really bad, it's going to go on YouTube. I don't care. I'm stepping up and I want to play. And he did that. Almost no one else will ever do that. You will almost never get someone who has an opinion like that will turn around and say, I challenge this person on this stream at this time. They won't have the balls to do it. They will not have the guts to do it. They will sit in Twitch chat and they will say it. And they will never try and prove it, right? They will never try and prove it. And I've got to say, Lion stepped up and he did try and prove it. And I will give him respect for that.
No, absolutely. Can't say fairer than that, to be honest. I mean,
Well-
also, like I want to point out, like it's, and not only did Lion call it out, Lion bought an EU version of the game or whatever, and
Yeah.
came to our region. It wasn't the thing that literally everyone does and says, "Hey man, can you get an NA copy? Can you get an NA copy? I want to play you. Can you get a North American?" He was like, "Nah, screw that. I'm calling out an international player. I'm gonna get his version of the game. I'm gonna go to him." You know,
Lion made it happen.
respect to that. Respect.
Lion getting the European version of the game is the only reason this set was possible. And yeah, I don't want to rant too much, but that was ultimately that's what it comes down to, and that's why I have respect. And I want to thank him for being in this set. But when it comes to the set, that's it. That's it for this week for MKX. We are actually going to give MKX the old switcheroo. And ultimately, I want to play some Injustice.
Also, I want
to
to say right now, who are you guys